You are about to experience Jackson Snyder Presents. Direct from the Vero Essene Yahad, a Hebrew Nation radio original program. JSP is a variety show seeking out Jewish and Christian origins, religion, theology, and history, and doing so in a fashion that is both educational and entertaining. Welcome to Jackson Snyder Presents.
We still got a few more things to do and everything, and they're wanting us to go to Alabama, Birmingham next month, and they said that they can basically take care of it. So we're really praying that all works out and everything goes good. But she's been doing really good and really energy's up and moving around and doing everything and doing really good.
I was going to say this the other day when we were all on a meeting together, and it came to me, but I just felt like maybe it was not the right time to say it. But it's coming to me again, and I'm going to say it while there's not very many people on. I just want to say, Greg, that I just appreciate your support of Stephanie. I just think that it's so loving of you to take on this thing head on and battle this with her. I mean, there's so much power in what you're doing, because I believe the most powerful prayer that can go to Yahweh is a spouse for a spouse. And I just think that he just is honoring you. He appreciates you and he values you for doing this. And you could be an example for husbands. It's just a beautiful picture. And I thought of that the other day, and I just wanted you to know that I saw that, and I appreciate you. I thank you for doing this for her.
Thank you so much. It does get rough. I mean, we don't really have anybody to help out and everything, and we really just been praying and looking into, like I said, the different things and milk thistle and the different things that we was really hoping we could pray and just get through it on our own. But it turns out we had to end up going the doctor route and everything. But we're just taking that in stride too, and praying and trying to do the best we can there. And sometimes we really don't. I want to do better, but it is hard. It is, sometimes it does get hard, and it gets, just gets down, I guess, depressing, and you can't even say that. We went to Texas and said something about being down, and they had, we thought it was who was it? Like a Jewish lady is what they told us. There was we thought she was a believer or something, really, is what we thought was happening. And found out she was a social worker, and she was like, so I hear you're depressed and all this. I'm like,
no.
Who wouldn't be, I mean, what? Then found out she's a social worker, and I was like, oh, so, okay, we're fine, we just.
Well, when you get through this, you're gonna have a really huge testimony, and the doctors will all be part of it. But
right.
The thing is you're sowing into those doctors. They're listening to you because they're seeing something they haven't seen. They're seeing a miracle, whether they want to admit it or not.
Right. Yeah, but the doctor there in Jackson, and, we've been talking to him, and he's actually, the last time that we've seen him, he's like, well, just pray, and sometimes we bring things in there, and different books or the Bible and things, and been talking with him and everything. So we try, because you can't just go in there. They didn't even want me. Actually, they tried to throw me out when I first went in there. That they said that she was going to be there 7 hours by herself, and I was like, no, she's not. I can't. We can't do that. I don't even know where she's going or anything.
Good for you.
She couldn't even talk. Her voice, she couldn't hardly even talk. And they actually called security, and security came over and was like, you have to leave. And I'm like, I'm not going nowhere. If I leave, she's going to leave. And they asked her, like I was being, I guess, a bully or something, They had to ask her, and she could barely talk. And she was like, he's my voice. He's here, and I want him here. And they was like, well, okay, we'll let him stay.
Well, see, that's how they kill people.
Yeah. I was worried about it. I was like, there's no way, I mean, she was really bad, but I mean, 7 hours later, I didn't know where we was or where if they was taking her or anything. They was like, oh, we'll come and get you. And I was like, yeah, you tell me what? That she's dead? I don't know. So, yeah, she wasn't even thinking. I mean, she was really bad shape. It was closing off her artery to her brain. I mean, she was really bad shape. They was wanting to put a tube in her stomach for eating and everything. So, I mean, it's such a blessing we've come this far and doing so good. So
It really is. And I just wanted to say thank you.
thank you. You're welcome.
Milk thistle is a liver cleanser. I'm sure you know that.
Yes. Well, they're saying that it's a blood disease is what they're saying. So we was hoping to go through different things to cleanse the blood and cleanse her blood, but they said it can come from black ink and Roundup and all kinds of different things can cause it.
Well, do you know about? Have you tried red clover? Do you know about red clover?
No, I don't think I've tried that yet.
May I tell you?
Yes.
Red clover tincture, and you know what tincture is?
Yes.
You can buy it or you can make it yourself if you've got red clover that has not been sprayed with insecticides. You can grow your own red clover easily, or you can buy the tincture. It's not especially cheap, but it's not expensive compared to what you've been spending.
Right.
She will need 56 drops of red clover tincture under her tongue several times a day, which means that it may cost you as much as $6 a day for the tincture. Maybe not that much, but it could. Red clover was banned in the health stores back in the 90s because the AIDS patients discovered, praise you, Father, glory to your holy name. You are the creator. You created these things for our benefit, Father, and I appreciate it, and I thank you, and I give you the glory. I take no glory, and I thank you that I have this information to give to Greg. Thank you, Father. The AIDS patients discovered that red clover was a blood purifier. They began to use it and stopped going to the hospital. Well, AIDS has got a patent on it, just like COVID does. So they created you can't have a patent on something unless it's man-made.
Right.
So they created the AIDS virus purposely to kill and to make money during the death process. So when the AIDS patients discovered that red clover cleansed blood, they stopped making money on the AIDS patients. So they went into the health food stores and they took up all the red clover. The health food stores got up in arms and took it to the high court. They had to go through a process. It took them 2 years. They got to the high court and the judge said, you cannot regulate the plant. And the health food stores got it back. But in the meantime, 2 years went by when you could not get red clover unless you got it black market.
Right.
Red clover will purify for blood. Red clover tincture, you want the tincture that you put under your tongue. And you can check Swanson, you can check Piping Rock, you can check Now, you can check, just those names that everybody knows. I wouldn't buy it from Amazon.
Right.
But I would buy it from Swanson. I would buy it from Now or Piping Rock. I would trust their brands. And I know from Piping Rock, I've ordered it, and it's been about $12 for just a little. I don't even know if it was half ounce or an ounce. It's $12, and I think 56 drops. Probably a half an ounce because 56 drops only lasted like 5 days, and it was $12. But sometimes they have a 2-for-1. So I would try to get it when they had a 2-for-1, which isn't very often. But that will purify her blood.
Great that way. Yeah, I'll try to get some of that. I tried when it started growing and everything. I found some of that. It's oleic acid, I believe, and I went all over trying to find it. And it's all it is like raspberries and blackberries mixed together. And I finally found some at the medicine shop. And I ordered it, and they went ahead and ordered it for me and everything. And they called me, and they said it was in, but they said I couldn't get it without a prescription. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh, you mean they've already done that? See, in 2000, oh my goodness.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
started doing it. Oh my goodness. See, in 2000, do you know about Codex Alimentarius?
No.
Well, write this down. Codex, just exactly like it sounds, C-O-D-E-X, Alimentarius, and it's spelled exactly like it sounds, A-L-M-E-N-T-A-R-I-S. Well,
Right.
in 2009, on December 31st, they passed the law. And the health food stores did everything they could to keep it from being passed, but they passed it.
Right.
That law basically said you can't have a garden. You cannot grow your own food. Obama passed it. Most people don't know about this, but they can come in if you've got a garden on your property. They can come in and confiscate and make you destroy that garden. So that's why it's a good idea, especially at this time, to grow in containers because it's not considered a garden.
Right.
When they passed this law, what this law says is that the bottom line of it, it's long. I could tell you a lot of different things, but the bottom line is their goal was to make vitamins, supplements, and natural remedies prescription. And now you're telling me that this is prescription? You know what I say to that? Go get some blackberries and some raspberries and mix them together and eat them.
Right. Yeah, that was absurd that it was in Illinois, and I thought, well, maybe they're just different than other people or something. So it's in Illinois that I ordered
No,
it.
that's a law. They can do that if they
They
please.
wouldn't let me get it. Said you got to go to the doctor, and I said there ain't no doctor gonna prescribe raspberries. But they obviously they use it for
prescribe
something.
that acid. They might prescribe that acid.
Right.
It's just like Kratom. They're trying to outlaw Kratom because they know it works. And they want it for themselves so they can make bunches of money off of it and make it a prescription because it does work.
Right.
But it's a plant. It's a plant that you make a tea of, and it works on several different things. It works on pain, energy, mood, sedation, and what's the other thing, Jackson? Sedation, mood, energy. Jackson might be asleep.
Oh, I'm awake. I'm listening.
What's that other one, Jackson? It affects pain, mood, energy, sedation, and what's the other one?
Anxiety.
Thank you. Yeah. So it works so well. See, there's how many strains, Jackson? My goodness.
Lots and lots of them.
Lots of them. And they all do something different. They all have, like if you rated it from 1 to 5, each one of them would rate high in several or all or whatever. But they know it works and they're trying to outlaw it. And the FDA even went into Indonesia, which was one of the prime producers of Kratom and one of the purest places to get it. They went to Indonesia, stuck their nose in their business and convinced the Indonesian government to outlaw the growing of it. Now, what they paid them, who knows? But now the Indonesians cannot grow kratom because the FDA went in and made a deal with that country that it was illegal to grow it.
Yeah,
So
I was getting some stuff from India. I had to order it. It took 30 to 60 days. Some of the stuff I was getting there because I found it was more pure than about anything I could find. But anymore, it's hard to get the pure form of anything almost, it seems. It seems like
that's what you're dealing with. The FDA goes in, sticks their nose in their business.
Right.
Because they're wanting to control everything. Well, I think their time's coming. It's about up. And we need to intercede on this. We need to intercept it. We need to say, this is not yours. This plant does not belong to the enemy. This plant belongs to Yahweh, and it's for his people.
Right.
No matter what it is.
Does that go for marijuana too?
Absolutely. It's a plant. It has good uses. It has positive benefits.
How about
anything can be a food. What?
Mahuang is another herb that they banished Can't
Really?
sell it anymore. But I worked for a company that used that, and it was a very successful MLM several years ago. And then the FDA took it off the market because it had the one herb mahuang in it. There's an English term for that, but I just couldn't think of it right now. But it seems like for me, the most potent, healthy, we'll say, remedy that's ever worked for me is kratom.
Oh, I take it every morning.
So, well, it's called in the Philippines magwam.
The thing about kratom is it doesn't heal. That's the only thing. It doesn't heal, but it does do what it needs to do for 3 or 4 hours. It does enhance your mood. It gives you energy, and it takes some of the pain. Now, it doesn't maybe take all the pain, but it takes some of the pain, and then 3 hours later, you can take it again. It doesn't, I ordered some red hulu, and it's supposed to be number 5 in energy, mood, and pain killing, and then 2 in sedation and 2 in anxiety. It put me to sleep. So I'm thinking that maybe the company sent me the wrong thing. And I think I gave you some, Jackson. It put you to sleep too. So
Yes.
I'm thinking it gave us the wrong thing.
No, that's what I knew red hulu for, was it's used for sleeping. One of our friends, Lizette, uses the red, and she uses it every day to help her to get to sleep.
Okay, well, that's not what the kratom.org rates it as. It rates it 5 in energy, mood, and pain. And it's like number 2 in sedation.
Oh, definitely it works on pain. It puts you to sleep. You get really relaxed.
Yeah, but it's rated 2 on kratom.org.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, anyway, I shared it with people who needed to sleep. I shared some with Irish because she needed to sleep. And so I took her some more today. But I'm going to take some and see if it helps me to sleep. I mean, I don't really need help sleeping, but I have been waking up like every couple hours lately. So I'm going to take some. And if you want some, I've got more.
Well, I've told people, anybody that asks about it, I'll be glad to send them a nice sample.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got some. Don't buy it. I'll give you some.
Because if you're in pain, and I believe that this really offers a very good remedy for pain, at least for mine. What can you get that's less expensive? What can you get that's actually healthful? You know, it's 100% fiber.
And it doesn't hurt you.
No, at least I've been using it for about 7 years now, and I could say the benefit has been very great.
And if you take too much, you throw up. So there you go.
Oh, continue.
But I think this is a topic that we really should explore. And Greg is one of the, I mean, I tell you what, that you know a tremendous amount. You've really explored and experienced. Right. So I would personally like to see us. You know, I'm still praying about Sukkot. I'm really hoping that we get to do Sukkot, you know, because of everything that's about to happen. I hope that Sukkot works out for us. But I would like to see us do a class each day, you know, at a certain time each day. Maybe in between lunch and dinner, we could do a class. Just let whoever wants to come and discuss these things. About natural healing. I think, you know, Marcelle, she's not sure she's going to come to Sukkot. I'm trying to get her to come, but I think it's important that we share knowledge.
Yes, definitely.
But look that up. Look up the Codex Alimentarius. It will blow your mind. It came from a German war criminal, and when he got out of prison in 1961, he stepped out of prison and he made this statement on December 31st, 2009. This is 1961, and he makes the statement in December 31st, 2009. A law will be passed. Da 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 da. And it was. So you tell me they don't orchestrate.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a Nazi war criminal.
Yeah, you got to go on the black market to find some of this stuff. They just don't want to. They don't want to sell it to you. It's ridiculous.
Well, I know a lady who wrote a book, and it's about the wild things that grow in our yard that we think are weeds. And I think I paid $30 for her book. She lives over here in Sebastian, near us. And her name is Susan Pfeiffer. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. And she and her son, he did it as a Boy Scout project, and she decided to work with him. And she ended up writing a book because they did so much exploring together. And she said, you know, this is extremely useful information. So I bought one of her books, and it's stuff. I mean, when me and Jackson, I lived with Jackson for 4.5 years. My husband and I lived with Jackson for almost 4.5 years. And our yard was full of what they call Bidens. And we would mow it down and it would just come back up, and we were like, oh my goodness. Well, then I get this book and I realized that this weed that we've been destroying is one of the most nutritious and one of the most amazing and miraculous plants on the earth. Right. It's especially good for men who have problems with their prostate. That's one of its greatest attributes, but it's like, no matter what it is, it helps it. You can put it in your salad, you can eat it raw, you can saute it, you can dry it, you can grind it up into powder, you can take it in a capsule, you can, any way you want to take it. And it is amazing what's in this thing. Then another one is mullein, and that works on your lung. And we don't have mullein here, but you would have mullein where you are, I think.
It's a kind of a fish. It's not a mullet.
I harvest some Colorado, but it's really good for your lungs. Do you have any mullein there? It's Mullien, and it grows up with this great big broad fuzzy leaf.
At
has a yellow stalk in the middle.
At Tabernacles, we'll be close to Maine Farm.
Oh, I know. We've got to go there. That would be a great field trip.
Up Alabama, they've been friends of the Yahad since we started, and their place, they dedicated their retirement time and their property to growing natural herbs and, well, all kinds of things. And in the past, I'd say 5-6 years, they've expanded. And Greg Ulali, who's the man that I know, my friend, well, he's now doing a series on YouTube to explain very different herbs as he goes through his gardens there on the tape.
But he's not under Maine Farms because I can't find him.
Mayin.
Okay, I'll look again, but I couldn't
find him. Alabama. Go look on Facebook. They're on
I'm not on Facebook, sweetie, and I can't get Facebook. Okay. They won't let me.
Okay.
But at any rate, maybe we could do an interview. Maybe you could interview him and we could record it and put it on YouTube.
I've got a couple interviews from him.
Yep, I've seen those.
Okay. Well, in fact, he said, yes, you can put as many of my things on your channel as you want.
Wow.
And I have put some.
I see. You would come and do a Sabbath thing?
Of course he would.
Oh, why don't you call him and ask him? That would be terrific.
He's a founding member, and his wife, Carol, up Alabama.
That would be terrific.
He'd be glad to come on anytime.
Tom, terrific. Or Tuesday night or whenever.
Yeah, I'm glad that you made that suggestion. Another
great.
person I wanted to, last time I talked to just not long ago, he said that he'd like to come back on, and that's Robert Eisenman. Robert Eisenman asked to get back on. Yeah, I just haven't got around to doing it yet.
Isn't that something? Yeah, that would be a wow. He's almost as well known as you.
Yeah, that's right. Almost.
Not quite, but almost.
Yeah, I was just.
How's he doing health-wise? I know he was waning.
A lot of pain.
Yeah. Have you sent Kratom?
I'm in the process of doing that, yes.
Okay. Where is he? Is he still in Europe?
He's in Los Angeles, Hollywood, I think.
Really? Well, then we need to get him some, don't we? We could send
If I
him
can't
some
fit that into my
some
schedule.
drinks. Huh?
I say I shall try to fit that into my schedule.
Well, I will do it for you if you want me to.
There's a couple other people that would like a sample of Kratom, including Robert, because of pain, and they just heard of it.
You may contact us at Jackson Snyder Presents at this email address, veroyahad@gmail.com. That is veroyahad@gmail.com. And let me remind you, you are listening to Jackson Snyder Presents with your host tonight, Bogdan G. Schruumkoff. Thank you for listening. We'll be right back. Jackson Snyder Present is back. Join us now for more of this interesting discussion.
I've sent out a bunch of samples, and people love it. I just tell them where to order it. I don't even try to, But if you want to start selling it again, I'll tell them you sell it. But I don't fool with it. I just tell them where to get it. But I've got enough. If you want to send him a sample, I've got some of the green and some of the red. If you want to send him samples of each.
Okay, we'll take that up later. That's something to think about. Look here. Talk about a pate. Here's Smith on the line.
Oh, Rudolph Carty's here.
Yeah.
Sean, Steve.
We never did what we were going to do. It's so late. I don't want to get into that now. But the gang's all here, I guess. Are you enjoying? I think that's the longest I ever heard you talk, Ann.
I'm sorry. I didn't know everybody else was on.
Are you...
I wouldn't have talked if I'd known we had so many listeners.
Are you on like your fourth personality today?
No, this is just me in a small group. I don't do well in lots of people, even though I love people. If I'd known everybody was here, I may not have spoken so much, but now that I've done it, Sean likes me. I like Sean. I can't wait to meet him. And Steve likes me, and I just love everybody. I just feel so at home. I just think I've got brothers and sisters that I've never had, and I just love it. So I'm going to shut up.
We love you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing all that with us.
Yeah,
I just thank you for what you've done for Stephanie, Greg. It's really such a sweet story of a husband and a wife. Thank you.
Thank you.
How many more would we have here that would like to celebrate Greg Holzapples? Anybody?
I have something to say. I don't know if you can hear me. My internet is really bad here, and it's off subject, so I apologize. But I am really excited, Jackson, to discuss the four videos you just put up. I'm very excited about it, actually, because there's some stuff I want to pick your brain about.
Do you have a plan for Thursday?
Well, my family and I and my wife's extended family are on vacation in the Poconos right now.
Yeah.
So I plan on to be on my phone. I'll be on, but I won't have I brought a couple Bibles with me, but I don't have anything like prayer.
Okay.
I would like to talk about those videos you posted about that.
Sean of the Lead. I think we've lost him.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think he just trailed off a little bit ago.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just excited to talk to you about, or to hear more about what you were presenting in the videos, and if you've had any, because it seems like those are a few years old.
Yes.
So if maybe you had some different thoughts now, or at least some additions to some of the material.
Yeah, I want to add one in particular, and that's the spiritless human concept, because that fits right into that. I think I came upon the spiritless human thing just a couple of years ago, and I think those recordings were made before that. But I rescued them, and I went through and listened to them. Some things, everybody has their manner of speaking, and I went through to listen to ums and you-knows and repetitive speech to try to get it out of there in each one of those. So it's kind of remastered, I guess you'd say. But I really want to get the spiritless human down and understandable if we can do it together and add that to it.
Well, yeah, because I think there's a lot more to talk about the spirit-filled human, the I like how you do the homo erodos. I think that's awesome. But because you had to ask the question, now are all human beings born spiritless, like homo sapiens, that then we become, once a person truly becomes redeemed as a spirit-filled, is that how it works in one day? If there's any kind of validity to like bloodlines, and I know a lot of people don't like about the bloodline and the side of families, but I find that
wow, what do you think of that? We're suffering a severe lag, I'm afraid. Yeah, so did mine, Steve. My audio slowed down.
Maybe we should pray over the airwaves. I'm serious.
Okay, hon, you lead it.
Hallelujah.
And then
Glory, glory. Hallelujah. Holy, holy are you, Father. Holy, holy, holy are you, Father Yahweh. Holy, holy, holy are you. Holy, holy, holy are you, and only you are holy. And we ask you, Holy Father Yahweh, now in the name of Yahashua HaMashiach, to cover these airwaves, to send angels to intercept what the enemy is trying to cause us not to hear, to intercept the enemy's interruption. We ask you, Father, now in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, our beloved, to clear the airways so that we can hear what Sean is saying, what each other is saying. This is important, and the airwaves belong to you, period. Thank you, Father.
And I thank you. We shall take this up then Thursday night, and sometimes it's just a very good thing to let something that's in process go on. That was very good, and I appreciate it. Amen, amen. See you Thursday night, 9 o'clock. We'll try this again.
You have been listening to Jackson Snyder Presents on Hebrew Nation Radio.